about Super Mario Brothers Deluxe from yours truly, Arekkusu TM. Do we do good on that one?
Yeah, usually we do good whenever we do a Nintendo ad.
Nintendo ads, all we do is wahoo and stuff.
Fair, but we still do a good job.
Okay, I'll give you that one. Alan, the video's ready.
Alright, I'm coming in. Man. Super Mario Brothers Deluxe. A game I didn't think I would be reviewing for this channel. You know, I remember one day I was just scavenger hunting for games to play. And I remember Super Mario Brothers Deluxe was one of the games that made people talk. You know, it made people talk all around town about what the hell's going on. You know, I would say Super Mario Brothers Deluxe is actually a pretty good game. There is so much you get out of this one. Like, for example, right? Super Mario Brothers Deluxe's story is basically the original events of Super Mario Brothers, but, you know, with some levels from lost levels actually making it in. That's literally what this is. Think of arcade versus Super Mario Brothers, where that game combines both of those games too, like mixes both their level designs and brings them to us, right? That's kind of what Super Mario Brothers Deluxe is, but a little different, and let me tell you why. Not only you get to play an actual color swap difference Luigi a little bit. Well, not color swap. I mean, he still is like kind of like Mario, but at least he comes in like the green and brown. Like he actually has the green and brown going in this game, right? In comparison to the original Super Mario Brothers or versus Super Mario Brothers, where he's rocking the green and white color palette, you know. So he's rocking that. So that's cool. And one of the coolest things I like is not only the platforming is pretty okay, pretty cool, though that screen crunch is a massive problem, though. In my opinion, I think screen crunch is one of the worst things about any Game Boy game or any Game Boy Color game or whatever. Because I can't see sometimes whenever you need to aim the camera upward. And by the way, yes, you can aim the camera upward by pressing up on the D-pad. Or aiming it downward if you just hold down a little bit longer than usual and stuff. Because you can't really crouch in this game unless you're Big Mario. Like, I would say, like, I feel like that's, like, the biggest issue with this game is the screen crunch. The screen crunch where I'm jumping and I can't tell if I'm jumping in a pit because the game makes me always constantly, and I mean constantly, makes me feel like I'm going in pits. So that's another thing. But gameplay is pretty much the same as Super Mario Brothers 1, too. So think of that gameplay where you run and jump and you move right. That's literally its gameplay, right? But anyways, other than like the screening issue and stuff, the screen scrolling and whatnot and so on. I had a dream about this moment, but my point is, right, is I think it's a solid Mario game regardless. Regardless, even if it is like a somewhat redo of SMB1 in some way. Like, not in sprite work, but in terms of, like, I mean, it did give us cool new things. Like, for example, right, Super Mario Bros. Deluxe, you know, for Game Boy Color, you know, not only gave us, like, a new type of, you know, palette for Luigi, but they also kind of gave us, like, an overview map before you click into the level of them traveling through a map. And as you guys know, Super Mario Brothers, you're going level to level. There's never a single hub world. We didn't even get hub worlds until Super Mario Brothers 3. So seeing SMB1 get the hub world or a little level select map shit, just like those games, is actually really, really cool. I think so. By the way, Draco, welcome to the stream. And yeah, it combines basically, like, you know, Luigi also has the same physics from the original game where he's more slippery, he has less traction, but he jumps higher, and Mario is just the standard. I recommend you play Mario throughout your first playthrough. And basically, this game as well has everything I really hate about the original Mario, or dislike about the original Mario Brothers. For example, castle levels always having that looping stuff. You guys know, like, if you guys watch my channel by now, I've played Super Mario Brothers so many times, in so many different playthroughs, that it's like, y'all should know by now that I hate endless loops in Bowser castles and all that stuff. So that's obviously a problem. I already mentioned the scrolling, like the screen crunch being an issue, so I'm not going to bring that up again. And other than that stuff, really, I would say you get a decent game. And then the time attack mode, where you're like pressing these switches, these blue and red switches. I didn't really play much of that mode, but honestly, if you have a Game Boy Color and you're trying to get a game for your kid, I think finding a copy of Super Mario Brothers Deluxe isn't that bad, in my opinion. I don't think it's that bad of a game to give your kid, even though there is way better versions of Super Mario Brothers out there. For example, the All-Stars version on your Wii, or the All-Star version on the Super Nintendo, or the original version of the game for NES, or Arcade versus Super Mario Bros. Arcade Archives versus Super Mario Bros. AKA the one on Switch. That one's better than this one. Though, a lot of those other versions obviously don't have, like, the Boo attack levels and those Switch levels I mentioned. Not Switch, like Nintendo Switch, but those blue, red, color switching things. They don't have those modes and a cool little calendar mode like this game does. So other than that, it's kind of like Super Mario Brothers 1 again, but like in a neat little package for your Game Boy. That's what this feels like. And yeah, that's it. And you want to know my thoughts? I didn't beat this version of the game because, let's be real, I've beaten so many versions of Super Mario Bros. In my day that it doesn't hurt not to beat this variant of Super Mario Bros. But you get my point. It's still a good game. It's still giving you the basic Mario experience, just throwing in some levels, a little bit of levels from Lost Levels, mostly levels from the original SMB1 though. So, it's kind of giving you like a mix of both experiences, So, honestly, I think it's a win-win. You're getting kind of technically two games in one. Lost Levels and regular Super Mario Bros. That's awesome on a little Game Boy cartridge. That's sick. That's really cool, dude. But yeah, of course, I love Super Mario Brothers, so I'm going to love this little package. You know what? Maybe if I was a kid again and I actually owned a Game Boy and I actually got to prop that bitch on there and just minus the screen crunch and shit, that would be really, really fucking cool. That would be dope. I would love that shit. But anyways, guys, if you enjoyed this little mini review, this is a really short one since Mario for the Game Boy Color, isn't all that big of a game, And I don't want to repeat so many talking points that I've had in previous versions of my experience with Super Mario Bros., but this one's really cool, man. Though, not a lot of people talk about it anymore. But anyways, guys, like, comment, subscribe, favorite, share with your friends. I know this one was extremely short, but I want to do another one of these, so let's get it on. Super Mario style. Wahoo! No? Alright, I'll just be back with the next one. You got it, Chief. You got it. Hey, Mario? Okay. I guess Mario got it now. Mario got the message.